Here at Clemson Sports News and All In with CSN. Here from the Clemson Sports News studio in Clemson, South Carolina, about a mile away from Death Valley as the crow flies. Guys, lots of stuff to talk about today. Talk about football practice, what's been going on, what we've been gathering from our availabilities with our staff down there on campus the last couple of days, seeing what they found out, what we can ascertain from the information we've gathered out of camp, from what we've seen ourselves with our own eyes. I got an article we just put out last night about the wide receivers, breaking those guys down for fall camp and what to expect for them coming into the season. We'll talk about the wide receivers. Just had a scrimmage today at Death Valley. We got some information from that back. Got some injury news on the Clemson side. Some injury / internet rumor / something's going on at LSU news to talk about as far as that game goes. And let's get into it. First of all, let's start off by saying, hey, you can't do this without sponsors. And guys, we got some of the best in the world. We got Ingles. Low prices, love the savings. Ingles, gotta love the folks at Ingles. 5 states represented, 200 plus stores. Ingles, go get you some Ingles, folks. From groceries to gas, they got it all. And they got it all going on. That's Ingles. 2, Benson Ford over there in Easley, South Carolina, 123 on the bypass there. You can see them right across the street from the Walmart Shopping Center, the Benson Ford, #1 Ford dealership in the upstate. Go see those guys. Ask for Mr. Crow. And there's Oakway Tractor in Seneca, South Carolina, on the way to Westminster on 123. Can't miss those guys either on Santa Fe Boulevard. Look for them. Oakway Tractor. Go in there, ask for Mr. Andy. That's a family business. It's been around this area for decade upon decades. His grandfather started that business a long time ago. But let's get into it, folks. And it's Friday Pie Day. Stoner's Pizza joint out of Clemson sent us over the old classic. I got some pepperoni pie, and you can't wait to break that out and show it to you and do a taste test here shortly. We'll take care of that, too, on Friday Pie Day, presented by Stoner's Pizza Joint. That happens in a little bit. Guys, you're more than welcome on our Facebook feed, on our Twitter feed, or on our YouTube feed to pop in questions. Ask questions, man. We'll get in there, and we'll answer them on the feed. We're going to be doing our live shows. We're going to be taking it out of the studio next, not this Friday coming up, but the next one, the 22nd, the week before the first game. We do a live show on site every Friday before a live home game, okay? And we even move them around on some of the away games, okay? But the first one is going to be August the 22nd at Kiowee Marina, okay? In Seneca, beautiful spot overlooking the mountains and the lakes. It's just gorgeous. I mean, gorgeous. The view is amazing. And we're going to be at Kiowee Shores right next door. It's the old Tiki Hut. On the stage, I'll be sitting there with guest hosts. I'll have guest sponsors coming in. We'll talk about their businesses. We're going to do a Tiger Trivia section. We're going to do some, question and answers. We're going to give away some stuff from sponsors. We're going to give away some T-shirts and stuff, things like that. You answer a question. Heck, you just come up and try to answer a question. We'll give you something cool to take home with you. Going to be a great time. Our first one, again, August 22nd. Clemson Sports News, All In with CSN, live from the Kiowee Shores Marina and Kiowee Marina. That's August the 22nd. Then stay tuned, because the next week, we move to our home for the rest of the season. Our home location for every football Friday before a home game is the Smoking Pig in Pendleton. Oh, yeah, I said that. The Smoking Pig in Pendleton. Oh, yes, the best. We're going to be sitting there with Mr. Morris and Mr. Devers and that whole bunch all season long. Starting on the 29th is our first show there before the LSU game. We'll preview the LSU game at the Smoking Pig on the 29th. So stay tuned, guys. A lot of cool stuff going on coming up. And, man, I can just smell it. Walked outside a few minutes ago. I just did some stuff around the house here, and the wind was blowing through the trees, and it had that rustle, that rustle in the trees and the wind. It kind of feels like fall. And there you go. That's what it felt like when I walked out there. You got football jamborees kicking up this week and next week here in high school. You got NFL preseason came on last night, and tonight I'm going to sit down and watch some more. I'm going to finish the rest of this Stoner's Pizza Joint pie watching some football tonight. But it's here. You got everybody's in camp. Everybody's practicing, pro, high school, everybody, college. We got our staff down there 3 days a week now getting stuff. It's going on, man. All right, so let's get into it. So I wrote an article about the wide receivers, okay, breaking them down. So we broke down so far quarterbacks, running backs, tight ends, and now we're at wide receivers. And, it's kind of cool because today the wide receivers all came out and talked to us today in the interviews. We talked to Wesco. We talked to TJ Moore. We talked to Tristan Tristan Smith, the new guy. Brain farts, excuse the French. But, hey, Cole Turner was also there. We spoke with him as well. So you can go to our Facebook feed. They're right there. I'll pop them into an article later. But if you go to our social media feed, you'll find those inserted in there, the interviews, so you can go back and watch what the guys had to say. But let's break down the wide receivers, man. I mean, it's been a while since we can walk around, hit Clemson, and go, hey, man, we got one of the top wide receiver groups in the country again. Well, we do. I'd say we're top 5. I think Ohio State is right there with us. LSU, obviously, is right there with us, and a couple others. Indiana is another school, believe it or not. This guy's a pretty good wide receiver group. But this Clemson wide receiver group I think it's good. I don't think it's wide receiver U yet. I don't think we were T. Higgins, Sammy Watkins, Nuke Hopkins, Justin Ross kind of good yet. Not depth-wise. I mean, there a couple years there for 15 through 18, the wide receiver group scared people coming off the bus. When you had guys that were 6'4", 225 pounds that could run 4.4 in your second and third tier of your wide receiver group, you were scaring people. And Clemson had that for a few years there. But had guys lined up. I mean, when guys like Joseph Ngata come in as a 5-star and he has to sit behind for 2 years, and learn and work his way in not because of talent, because of his logjam of what's up in front of him. That was wide receiver U, and that went away. We lost that for a minute, and the reason we lost it, wide receiver coaching change and a little bit of a acclimation period that had to go on you there. I mean, you literally had to acclimate the new coach into the whole thing. I mean, Grisham, when he came in, I was not a fan. We lost a lot of production at the wide receiver position with already guys that had been underneath Jeff Scott. I saw them regress. I saw on the field things like fundamentals just go away. We dropping balls. I'll give you an example. Bo Collins, the kid out of California that ended up in Notre Dame. He came to Clemson with a lot of, again, 5-star accolades. He got to Clemson his first year under Jeff Scott, and he did okay. Then he started regressing almost immediately. I saw the same thing with Ngata. I saw Frank Ladson regress and transfer out of here. I saw Dakari Collins regress and transfer out of here. These were guys that were supposed to be the next ones up in line for EJ, the kid out of Alabama. I just can't remember. EJ Williams, another one that was supposed to be something, just regressed and got out of here. So we're back into it now since they've gotten in the Wesco recruitment. TJ Moore. Tristan Smith out of the portal, Tyler Brown's emergence, and Antonio Williams. Guys, if you remember, Antonio Williams was not a national recruit. He was a regional recruit out of Dutch Fork High School, highly recruited. But at the same time, he's now worked himself into one of the top wide receivers in all of college football. So let's talk about him right now. Let's go start talking about wide receivers. Let's start talking about first one up, Antonio Williams again. The senior, the polished route runner. I'll go back to the first time. His coach in high school, Darrell Berry, ex-Clemson tight end. All right, so me and Darrell are kind of good buddies. And Darrell was telling me about this guy before Clemson started recruiting him and kind of pushing him at me to get me to talk about him on the air and that's my recruiting story. So I knew about Antonio. And I saw it, the first time I saw it, we were in the press box at Clemson versus Georgia Tech. It was the opening game of the year. It was one of those ACC specials. It was at the Mercedes Dome a couple years ago. And just watching him work in that game, the first thing I noticed was his crispness in his route running. It was like watching a guy on ice skates. Like an ice skater makes those quick turns, and they're just so sharp and precise because of the angles. Because of you when you're on a blade or something like that, it's got to be precise. So that's what it looked like. He looked like he was on skates, like he was on ice skates when he made his turns and when he made his cuts and his routes. And it carved up the field and gave him that 1 or 2 yard advantage that the other guys weren't smooth and as precise with, and coverage. It's hard to cover like that. And that's what he was. And now he's just taken that and developed that game, and now he's become elusive in the passing game. And by that I mean a guy that can find himself a space in the middle of the zone, can find his own space in the middle of a zone, and know where to get soft at. That guy is what he's become. He's become a Hunter Renfrow type, is what I would say. You don't come from there. A guy that can find soft spaces and mesh into the defense and what they're giving you. Not just a good route runner that can find space out downfield. He's become that guy. He's become the third down threat like you had when you had Hunter Renfrow. On top of that, he's also just like Hunter Renfrow. He's a threat to go deep. I mean, Williams has just absolutely turned into everything you thought he would be. and more. I think it's more. I think he's overachieved. I think he's way overachieved when he got here. I was high on him. I wasn't this high on him, but look at Antonio Williams. Let's move on. That's just the first guy. Brian Wesco Jr., the sophomore. I mean, Dabo just came in the other day and told us, hey, the kid put on 15 more pounds over the winter and just made himself that much more viable as an option, especially in those, those get up and go 50-50 balls where you have to go up there and be physical and contend for a ball. You'll see him contend for footballs, with a little bit more physicality now. I compare him to right now like a Nuke Hopkins kind of guy when it comes to his ability to what he's going to be able to do out on the edges of the defenses when they throw those 50-50 balls. Now, last year he was not that guy. He was not that guy. They didn't target him like that. I think they will this year. But I think that they're also going to reserve that role for Tristan Smith. We'll get to him in just a minute. But Wesco got that ability now with the weight and stuff he's put on. I'll tell you what. Let's go. Let me rephrase that. He's more of a Mike Williams type wide receiver. I think he was going to be able to go up and get balls downfield and be able to physically pull them in. Last year, I saw him drop a couple balls where he went up and tried to contest with people, and he lost the ball. And I think that's just going to become that extra 10, 15 pounds is going to make that much of a difference. It truly is. So Wesco, you go down to TJ Moore. And TJ, the other sophomore out of Florida. Again, last year, crazy blend of speed, field presence, ball skills, and elusiveness is what I see when I see him. Again, let's compare him to somebody. Derek Hamilton, for Clemson player folks that go back to Derek Hamilton, wide receiver back in the Tommy Bowden era. Derek was smooth and fast and just silky fast. That's what you got here. You got a guy that just doesn't look like it, but he's got speed when he has to turn it on, and he doesn't like he's turning it on because he's smooth. He's smooth. He's got a really smooth way of getting out into the routes. He's another guy that finds ways to find things downfield, and he's got amazing ball skills as far as going up and getting the football. I mean, another one. It's just at 6'3", the size and athleticism, it's just something you just can't teach that. It's a God-given gift, that size. And so there's number 3. There's the three-headed monster, all right, that Cade Klubnik gets to throw to already. Tyler Brown, the forgotten man. Tyler Brown. I mean, 2 years ago was our leading receiver. Oh, it was granted he only got like 650, 700 yards, but he was the leading receiver 2 years ago. As a freshman, he was a freshman All-American. Last year, most of the year, he was hurt. You saw him get into the season very late there in the Texas game. They put him in a little bit there, in the ACC championship late. Not any playing time that mattered. He was already just trying to get him back, just trying to get him some snaps to get him, happy about being on the team, I guess. But now he's back on the team and he's healthy, and he's another weapon. I compared the Clemson running back room to a Swiss Army knife. The same exact comparison I'm going to give this Clemson wide receiver unit. I mean, they are a Swiss Army knife of guys. You got guys, this is a perfect slot guy. Williams, perfect slot guy. Okay, we haven't got to another guy that's this versatile, but look at this. I mean, you got every type wide receiver body type and characteristic and skill set you want in a wide receiver group. You got it here, and you don't have it just one. You got them stacked up double deep. All right, Tyler Brown, very, very slashy. A guy that finds space in the middle of nowhere. He's the guy they find down in those little 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6 areas. He's that guy. He finds space in the middle of the linebackers and the safeties. This guy, again, at the slot can be dangerous. Watch out for some. I think this year, Clemson brings back a lot of the wide receiver tosses. The little short screens. The little pop passes and things like that in the backfield. I think you see a lot of that stuff coming on. A la, back in the days of Deshaun Watson and gang. Okay, but yeah, now let's move down to the transfer. Tristan Smith, the 6'5", 205-pound transfer from Southeast Missouri State. He had 76 receptions and 934 yards and 6 touchdowns last year. 84.9 yards a game. He was among the FCS top 20. He had 3 100-yard games last year. And in the spring game, he had 137 yards, including a 72-yard touchdown. And he just showcased his ability to transition into this level. So, guys, his role is going to be unique. The length and vertical skills make him a red zone and a jump ball specialist. That's addressing a weakness noted by T.J. Moore earlier in an article, an interview we did with him. Smith's integration in the offense is a wild card. But I think his spring game performance indicated he's quickly adapting. He's ready to serve, as a rotational outside receiver. I think complementing Moore and Wesco, and he maintains his FCS level production. You're going to see a lot of good. I'm just telling you, Clemson's going to be wide receiver U by the end of the year this year. You're going to see a lot of talk about the Clemson wide receivers because there's going to be games where each of these guys steps up and has the game of his life. Which one is it going to be for which game? I think every game there's going to be a different guy stepping up because you're not going to be able to double cover this bunch. There's just too many different body types and different, again, skill sets. I mean, this is a Swiss Army knife of wide receivers. Now, let's get to the guy that's the true Swiss Army knife, Cole Turner. Cole Turner, I've been down on him at times. I think he at times loses his sense of where he is on the field when he goes up to get a ball. Now he's quick. I think he was a liability in the blocking game downfield in the past. I hope that's been addressed. But I saw some flashes last year when he was in the game that he's got some things going on there. He's starting to really catch on to this thing. Because you remember when Cole came in, very undersized. He was Nolan Turner's little brother out of Alabama. Kevin Turner, Dabo's buddy from college. Their dad died, and he promised him he'd take care of the Turner boys. Well, he did. He brought them both to Clemson. Nolan Turner did great working at Clemson. Got in the NFL for a minute. And this guy Cole he's got the same kind of caliber athleticism. He's a college athlete. Everything's deserved, but it hasn't panned out for him yet on the football field. And I think this year, in the role that he's going to step up and make a few plays here and there. So it's great to have this guy. He's a Swiss Army knife. Like I said, he's one of those guys you love to have in the backfield because he is that Swiss Army knife himself. He can go deep. He can go short. He can do the jet sweeps, all kinds of cool stuff with him. Okay. Then there's the backups. Meson Kelly, Tink. I think they're going to end up moving this kid over to defensive back. They tried it last year for a minute. We'll see. He got himself hurt and dinged up a little bit last year. Local Daniel kid. Me being a Daniel guy, I played football at Daniel High School, so I got a little love for him. But we'll see where he ends up. But he's another quick one. We haven't had a chance to watch him do what he can do, but he has impressed in practices. He is a freak of a little athlete. He's quick. He is a matchup nightmare. He's small in stature, but he's very quick. There is a package you could throw him in and do something with him. You could put some little weird package in there and do something with him. I can tell you that right now. Then there's the freshman, Carlton Juju Preston, out of Virginia. He was a highly regarded wide receiver coming out of the state of Virginia, and he picked the Tigers, and he's just developing. I mean, his athleticism, ball skills, he's going to be able to contribute down the line. He'll spend 2025 learning. I think that he'll redshirt in case unless there's something that happens, as far as these other guys go depth wise. I think you're going to see him for sure redshirting this year on that one. So that's the wide receivers, folks. I couldn't break it down any better. You can again go check that out on ClemsonSportsNews.com. I got that article out this last night late, so it'll be out there. Next up will be defensive line. We're going to break down that defensive line, and we'll do that one over the weekend. And I'm going to spread these out for the next couple of weeks. We're going to get through all the position groups by the end of next week, and then we'll start doing pick'ems and things like that. I got a contest where we got the guys at Pit Stop Auto. They're right there across the street from the Smoking Pig in Pendleton. The guys at Pit Stop, Dakota, and the guys, they are sponsoring our pick'em contest this year. We're going to give away free stuff to people that can get 6 out of 6 games right on our pick'em contest. We'll feature. We're going to kick that thing out there next Friday. When I do the show next Friday, I'll drop the pick'ems out, the games for the first week. We'll give you a 2-week head start on the first week. And we're going to have you guys can email us in your picks. Whoever gets 6 out of 6, you get a free gift from here at Clemson Sports News, a shirt, hat, stickers, stuff from our sponsors, that kind of thing. Okay? So good news. Clemson on the injury front looks pretty good. It's just your basic guys getting dinged up in the start of practice here, pulling hammies and things like that. But the one injury we can report, Jarvis Green, the running back out of Dutch Fork, the sophomore, he's going to be out for most of the season with a foot injury. Got himself injured, and he had surgery on it already, I think, like they had it last night. But yeah, Jarvis Green, a guy that we were thinking about and talked about in our running back report on I think it was Monday. He's a kid that we wanted to see him get some snaps, but man, there's going to be hard to get him in the rotation. But after the Texas game, everybody is chipping in to do their best they could, trying to help Phil Maffa out, and he did his part, by playing in that game, and that little touchdown off the slip out of the backfield past those linebackers. He looked pretty good in that, but in his limited role, I think he had like 50 or 60 yards running the ball last year. So I mean, I hate it for him, pulling for him, because Jarvis, again, we'll go back to my earlier discussion about the Dutch Fork guys. His coach is Darrell Barry, and Darrell really sold me on Jarvis Green, which made me push the staff a little bit whenever I spoke to them about Jarvis, and they asked me my thoughts, and I let them know what I thought about the kid's abilities, so we're pulling for Jarvis Green to get better. He's the only injury we can report for Clemson right now that's legit, and it could affect the depth, obviously. But he was, again, back in the pecking order. But the big news on the injury front, again, is coming out of LSU. Now, on Wednesday, we reported a rumor. The rumor was that Garrett Nussmeier was carted off of practice and had hurt his knee. They didn't say what, when everybody was screaming ACL, out for the year. Then reports came back saying, he's fine. And then reports going back, he got carted off the field, but he's okay. I'm sorry, when you get carted off the field, you're not exactly okay. So that was the first little wisp of smoke I saw coming out of Baton Rouge on this one. The old smoke, when there's smoke, there's fire. Well, here you go. That's what I saw, okay? Now, today, reports, Brian Kelly. I watched Brian Kelly tell his media that he's suffering from a case of tendonitis. And it was the tendonitis. He just stepped on it the wrong way. Now, let me tell you something. I've had tendonitis in my feet, in my Achilles, in my knees. It's a condition. It's not an injury. Okay, you don't get carted off the field for tendonitis. You can't walk if you're hurting from tendonitis. Okay, unless you got a buttload of steroids and some pain medicine on you. Okay, and you don't hurt yourself from having tendonitis. Okay, so something's not adding up here. Okay, something is not adding up here. They are either masking an injury, or they're trying to play a game with everybody about his injury and maybe mislead people. Okay? I don't know what's going on, but this is a lot of coach speak and some very bad body language if you go watch this interview by Brian Kelly that I saw. Now, I've been to a bunch, and I'm talking, I would say a couple hundred or more post-game press conferences and press conferences on campus talking to coaches. I know how to read body language and how to ascertain coach speak. And believe me, it was a lot of coach speak, and he was literally trying to act like he was an orthopedic surgeon, trying to tell us there was no big deal. It was a 1.5 out of 10. I'm sorry, dude, tendonitis. If it's as bad as they say it is, and he's got it, that is a painful condition to have. And I tell you, it's hard to even walk with tendonitis just in the foot. If you have it in the bottom of your feet, on your ankle, anywhere, it is painful. It's more painful than a sprained ankle ever was. And it's a condition you have to control with medication, and you cannot irritate it. So, I mean, multiple reps running around trying to plant his foot and throw a football all day long at practice, that's not going to be good for it. Running any kind of conditioning is not going to be good for it. I'm telling you, if this is true, LSU's in trouble, because that will his mobility was already suspect against this defensive line, and the way that Tom Allen is going to scheme up for this guy. Boy, look out. If his mobility has been taken and shrunken down that much more, he's in big trouble. Big trouble. You just took half the field away from him because you took about 2 seconds more of his time of inability to do anything in the pocket away from him. If you take it from 4 and 5 seconds in the pocket down to 2 and 3, you just took down 2 and 3 options of his route tree in the wide receivers. So, boom. Big news if that's true. Again, it could be a smoke screen. But, man, I'm telling you, man, I've been doing this for a long time, and I can read coaches. And I'm telling you, Brian Kelly's not very good at masking stuff. So I think it's a smoke screen that he might be actually seriously injured or enough to where they're worried. You got to worry for them, but not for Clemson. All right, so, guys, that's going on. Let's see. Awards. I was going to go over all the awards, but it's been a long show here already. I think we're at 25 minutes. It's time to do Friday Pie Day from the guys at Stoner's Pizza Joint. And today they sent me the classic, the old pepperoni pizza. All right, let me snag it. Okay, look at this monster. Woo! Look at that. Look at my thumb. Just from pulling it out of the box. Look at that. All right, you ready? Here goes the first bite. Oh, my God. As usual, home run. Right out of this park. My dogs, Simon and Jake. I got a husky and an American Eskimo sitting at my feet here. Look at me begging for some of this. And again, I apologize for the umpteenth time for talking with my mouth full. My mom would smack me out of the room. Rest in peace, Mama, if she saw me doing that. But got a job to do. And that's our Clemson Sports News rating of 11. You can't get any better. That's a step above the best. So that's Stoner's Pizza Joint down in Clemson on Tiger Boulevard. Mr. Doug. And you got to thank Miss Erica down in Florida, the head of marketing. And those guys have been awesome. Great sponsor. And great food. Man, they've been here for a year. Their 1 year anniversary is just this week. We just celebrated it. 1 year in Clemson. They're in, I think they're in Travelers Rest. And they've got like 5 or 6 other locations in South Carolina. They've got locations in Georgia, Florida, out west. They are expanding nationwide. So Stoner's Pizza Joint, guys. Oh, man, that's still, oh, wow. Still tastes amazing. So, guys, listen. We're going to get out of here. That's the show today. On Monday, we'll go back over what we've heard over the weekend, what we can find out about more about this LSU thing as the news starts to creep in. Football is here, guys. It's here. The weather is getting just right. Now, hey, we're going to get warm again next week or the next couple weeks. We're going to have a warm couple weeks in September, but we're almost in football season. All right? Get ready, folks. We're 22 days away, 3 Saturdays, and we'll be live. And again, write it on the calendars. August the 22nd. Okay, Clemson Sports News live from the Kiwi Marina, and want to say that. And once again, and we wanted to say thanks to a sponsor that re-signed with us this week and renewed. We mentioned them on Wednesday. It's the Gas Vault over there on 93 and 123 in Clemson. The gas station, the Marathon. It's right there in front of the gym and across the street from Bojangles. Been there forever. Great place. Great location. Grab your ice, your beer, your snacks, all the good stuff you need for a tailgate, even for the house if you live in the area. Those guys. They also own the Liquor Guys out here on Wells Highway. And that is just an amazing place. You never knew about it. It's called the Liquor Guys on Wells Highway. It's amazing. Spirits, wine, mixers, spritzers, you name it. Custom bottles, great stuff. Again, ice, all the little necessities you need for your weekend at home, on the boat, out at the lake, at tailgates, you name it. Okay, but go by and see those folks. And they've also got Mr. P's Liquor down in Belton, South Carolina. That's right there in the middle of Belton. That's Mr. P's. But there's all 3 businesses. We want to say thanks to those guys. And man, y'all have a great weekend. It's awesome here in God's country, what we call it right here in Clemson. I'm going to have a great weekend, watching some football all weekend, getting ready for next weekend. I'll be writing some articles. Again, we'll have the stuff ready for you guys on Monday. Look for our breakdown on the defensive line by the time you get up on Monday morning. And go to ClemsonSportsNews.com. Visit our sponsors. And have a great weekend, man. Go Tigers.